It's time for another episode of The Oil Stream with Dustin Nielsen and Tom Gazzola, presented by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen.
Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Oil Stream, brought to you by Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. Dusty and Tommy back with you once again. Tommy, what's up, buddy? How's your Friday going?
Hey, Dusty. Overall, it's okay. Like, honestly, it's a nice Friday. The smoke sucks, but, you know, we understand.
Smoke does suck today.
Big thank you to all the people, all the firefighters fighting these wildfires. And, you know, we're thinking of all the people that have been evacuated. But I forgot about this. The building I live in, they're doing water line maintenance. So I went to go, like, wash my hands and get the little trickle. So I'm like, shit. So I just drove over to my parents, and I just became a burden on them again, which is something that I think that they welcome. So I'm back in my dad's den. No beer, just a coffee, and we'll let the weekend. I'll get into the weekend eventually. But
I was gonna say you will get into a weekend. It should be good. Hey, nothing says May long weekend like Popeye's Louisiana Kitchen. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats. Huge having Popeyes on again for another year with the Oil Stream. And look what I have here, Tommy.
What is that?
Popeyes bag, and this is actually the thing here says fish sandwich, which you can now get there as well. But This is the Popeyes Ghost Pepper Chicken Sandwich, which is it's only available until I think like June 4th. So you got like 3 weeks left to get it. And it's like a ghost pepper mayo with the classic chicken sandwich, like the pickles and the thing. So
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You're way on the south side. I'm back in the north side. What up? And I'm already sweating for you.
Oh no. See, this is what concerns me, is that I'm not a spicy guy. Like I don't eat anything spicy. So I've got a glass of milk right next to me here, just so I can get through the episode, buddy. So, all right, let's really see how hot this is. You can get it all the locations, and DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats. Limited time only to early June. She's a little spicy, buddy.
Okay. You're breathing quicker.
Oh, there's some kick to this, man. It's good though. God.
But you need the milk already.
Oh, I gotta have the milk. But this is a pretty good sandwich, buddy. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm getting really hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. My mom's gonna make me something.
Oh my God! Listen to this guy. My mom's gonna make me something. Wow, this is delicious. I think if you're like a guy who loves, there's some real. I bet you're right in the middle. It's really hot. I'm just around them. No, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I can't take that bite.
I'm sweating.
I will take that bite. This is the. Where is it here?
I'm sweating, buddy.
See that right there? That's the hot bite. I'm gonna do that right now.
Okay. I'm sweating just thinking about this. No joke. Like.
Oh yeah, that's hot. That's pretty hot.
Yeah.
No, I feel like if you're a spicy guy, if you like the spice, actually, it's pretty hot. No.
Okay. Get some water.
If you like the spice, I think you really like this, but it's not. I say this now. It's not so overwhelming that it's gonna light you up, but it's pretty hot, buddy.
Water and milk. Sweet, man.
I got it all taken care of. All right.
Well done.
Whew. Whew. Yeah, that's a spicy chicken sandwich. Ghost pepper chicken. It is pretty spicy, actually. Ghost pepper chicken sandwich at all your Popeyes locations. DoorDash, Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats. Great way to spend the long weekend. What you should do is pull a trick on your family. Buy a bag of chicken sandwiches. Tell them they're all regular chicken sandwiches, but have the ghost pepper chicken sandwich, and then that'll really get everybody going for the weekend.
That would kill my brother Paul. Like he can barely handle pepper.
Really? Like just regular pepper?
Regular pepper. I remember one time in the media lounge a few years ago when he was still writing for the Oilers.com. He's sweating like his bag off. I'm like, I walked in because I had to do some stuff beforehand, and I'm like, "What did you eat? Like, what was spicy?" And he goes, "The pesto." I was like, oh my God. He's like, that's pretty bad. From the pasta, it was spicy. He couldn't handle it. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, man, I can't handle it. So you would kill my brother literally if you pulled that prank on him.
My numbs are a little numbish, you know. It's those are my lips. Did I say my numbs?
Yeah.
My lips are. I told you, I'm losing control of my mouth here. Anyway, that's your Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, the delicious Popeyes ghost pepper chicken sandwich. Actually, really tasty. All right, Tommy, let's get to this. I want to bring this up. I'm going to give Shaggy a plug on this one. Ryan Rashog, obviously, TSN, Got Your Back podcast. He's on the Morning Mandate yesterday, and we were talking about, like, there's no shortage of in-house candidates to be the next GM of the Edmonton Oilers, right? You got Holland, Matt Cassidy yesterday, and two guys and a goalie. Talked about Bill Scott and how good he is at his job. Like, there's a bunch of different guys there that will eventually get other elevated roles, whether this organization or the other organizations. But Rashog yesterday on my show kind of caught me off guard a little bit when he said, I'm just going to lob this out there. He just kind of very dramatic, too. It was really well done. And then he goes, what if Kyle Dubas takes a year off and then wants to get back into it, coincidentally, when Ken Holland's contract is up as general manager? And I mean, I hadn't even thought about it at that point. It kind of came out of left field. And then you see today that Dubas isn't going to be back with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has talked about maybe wanting to spend some time with family. Tommy, is this? Would you view this as like a 0% chance of happening, or could it be something that could end up being in the cards down the road?
You can't say zero. No way you can say zero. But I mean, when when we were talking about the show leading into it before we went to air, I was like, why would the Oilers be interested in Kyle Dubas? That was just my initial reaction. Sit about it, let it simmer a bit. And there's obviously a connection to Darnell Nurse from the Sioux Greyhound days.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's part of it. He's a young GM, obviously, let's call it forward thinking in terms of analytics. And I know there's people out there that will say the Oilers are not good enough with metrics and advanced analytics, but they actually do a lot of that, they're just not out front about it. And they also use, I had a great conversation, I can't say with who, but they use a stat system that's even deeper than like Sport Logic.
Okay.
So yeah, they have access to they pay it to, or they have access to something that's even deeper, has more variables, more areas to pinpoint. So a lot can happen in a year too. And we talked about it the other day, and I'm thinking, like, yes, the Oilers are, and Ken Holland, who basically admitted it, are putting into action their plan for his successor. And you know what? There's a very good chance it's Steve Staios. It could be a different candidate. Things could change in a year. And Dusty, we talked about the possibility of who gets ownership of the Ottawa Senators. One of the bids has an investor that was deeply tied to Steve Staios, and that was something that was told to me, and I was reminded of when I was asking about Staios a few days ago. They're like, just keep an eye on that, because that could be an outside factor. There's so much time that, yeah, it's not a 0% chance. Maybe there is a fit there, but a lot of things would have to happen. Would he be candidate number one on May 19th, 2023? I'd say no.
Yeah,
that would be my best guess. I don't think that the Oilers are sitting there waiting for Kyle Dubas right now. I don't get that sense, but I'll have some conversations in the offseason in the coming weeks or 2 weeks or so, and I'll get a sense for it. But I think the Oilers have their plan A, and I don't think Kyle Dubas is part of it, but it's not a 0% chance. And who knows, things can shift really quickly in the NHL landscape. So you can't rule it out, but it's interesting. He did have a very good run with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah,
put together a pretty good. I think he'd probably like a do-over on the Tavares contract. Mind you, COVID hit and then things changed with the cap and stuff.
Yeah.
Piss Jug on the live stream says, I think Dubas should go to Ottawa. That would be the best move with the new owners there. So, I mean, Dubas will have another job when he wants another job in the National Hockey League, and just feel like it won't be here. Now, I like overall in general, the one thing that kind of comes out of this, that sandwich is still lighting me up here a little bit, I'm not going to lie. The one thing that comes out of this is, like, so you've got Ken Holland, and whether it's Staios or it's somebody else from within or it's Holland himself, to me, you have to have somebody from this group doing the negotiating on the Draisaitl and McDavid contracts moving forward. It'd be very strange to me, Tommy, to have somebody come outside the organization to come in and maybe not have that level of trust and have that familiarity with these two guys. I mean, I don't care if it's Ken Holland or Brad Holland or Steve Stais or Bill Scott or Keith Gretzky or who the hell, Tyler Wright. I don't care who it is.
Right.
But it feels like that's got to be the plan if you're going to keep these guys around.
Yeah. It is a pretty cohesive group from everything I've seen being
like
there
that
every day,
that management group. Like,
yeah, everyone is pretty much on the same page. The relationship with the players is pretty good, and that's something you want to maintain. I think there is a certain level of trust that has finally been, or that has been established and has blossomed. So that logic makes sense. It really does. And you would think that to lay the groundwork, maybe it starts a little bit next year, maybe a little bit, but even that could be a little bit premature, but who knows? I mean, one guy's 2 years away, the other guy's 3 years away. I think also what'll factor in is Daryl Cates and his relationship with those guys, their respective agents. And I think that might be someone who steps in and negotiates it and has a say in these contracts. He's obviously signing off on it last, but I think with him being the owner, knowing these guys since they were 18 years old, entrusting them with all of the millions that he has given them to this point, I think he will also be a part of it. If Ken Holland isn't around like we expect him not to be, and if the successor to Ken Holland isn't one of the guys already in place, I think regardless, Daryl Cates will have a say in this and probably be a part of the negotiations. To what extent, who knows? But I think he'll be one of the recurring players in this, obviously.
All right, let's dive into your Boston Pizza Appetizer. Appy hour every day from 2 until 5, and then again from 9 until close. Obviously, the patios are open at all your Boston Pizza locations, and make plans Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, the 23rd. We will be at the Clairview Boston Pizza at 3 o'clock for a little Appy hour special of the Oil Stream, and we'll have lots of good questions from everybody leading into that one, so that should be good. Boston Pizza, Clairview location. I don't know if they'll probably set us up inside. I said maybe they'll set us up on the patio. Who knows? Yeah. I mean, we're going to be good wherever. So that'll be a real fun time. Appetizer today, Tommy. Everybody seems to think that the upgrade of Ceci on the right side is maybe one of the top priorities for Ken Holland here heading into the offseason. We talked about in the last episode, get that Bouchard deal done. Do you think next year they would go into the postseason with the Desharnais, Kulak, Broberg sort of rotation in the bottom? Like, let's say they upgrade Ceci. We're just spitballing here. Let's say they upgrade Ceci. I thought maybe you just bump Ceci down and play somebody else up there alongside Darnell Nurse. But do you think you'll see, I guess the question is, both Desharnais and Broberg still around come playoff time next year? Like, will there still be the younger-ish element of that blue line, or do you have to have 6 legit veteran defensemen to roll out there?
So much hockey to be played, but
yeah,
we're gonna have to see what kind of growth Vinny Desharnais goes through, how he works on his game in the offseason. The type of start he has to the season, because I think he has taken over that spot on the third pairing. I think he's got the inside track over Philip Broberg. We'll see what the Oilers want to do with Philip Broberg. Is he content with being a 7th defenseman for another year and just getting opportunities here or there? Or do they move on from him? I mean, does Broberg ask them to trade? We'll have to see in time. Like, going into the playoffs next year, which is, again, so far away, are they going to have those two guys? We'll see. Again, we're going to have to see what kind of growth they have. And then going into next year with Cody Ceci in there, is it ideal? Probably not. How would you want to upgrade? What kind of defenseman would you want instead of Cody Ceci to be paired up with Darnell Nurse? I think maybe more of a smoother puck-moving guy that like Ceci's a meat and potatoes defenseman, I think is a fair way to describe it, right? Like he's not going to score a lot.
I mean, a healthy Cody
Ceci,
Ceci alongside Kulak would be a really good veteran pair for the postseason. I mean, now you'd be paying like over $5 million, or $5.5 million for your third pair, but I mean, depending on who you could get with Darnell Nurse, like I'm not sitting here saying Ceci's got to be gone, but I wonder if there's an upgrade somewhere along the way.
And there could be, even if they go into the season with Cody Ceci and those 7 defensemen that finish the season, I think you're okay. Like, I think you're in a good spot. Let those players with their play dictate what needs to be adjusted, like we saw this past season. And then if you're identifying Ceci as something you want to upgrade and you need to upgrade, then you go out there and you find the right defenseman who might be available. I don't think it's an imminent pressing need, but I think it's one that if they could tell a couple months into the season that they need a boost or to bolster it, then I think we could see, like Tyson Barrie, a move mid-season to mold and shape the team as it gets set for another run you would expect in the postseason.
Follow up here on this topic here. Boston Pizza Appetizer. Join us at Clairview on Tuesday at 3:00. What do you think is more important to do? Add a top six forward because they got 5, or add another top 4 defenseman because some people would view them as only having 3?
No.
It's got to be the D-man, doesn't it? I'm going to say D-man.
I would honestly look at upgrading the right side and get that out of the way.
The forward?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then you're set. Then there's no more like, oh, rotate this guy in, rotate this guy in. Like,
be done with it. Why? Like, you had the Jesse Puljujärvi dilemma hanging over you for a season. It was a pain in the ass. It caused so much turmoil and discussion and angst. And now the spotlight and the bullseye has clearly shifted to Kyler Yamamoto. And, again, God bless his heart, and he uses every ounce of his body to the best of his ability. But I think the focus will probably be on upgrading the right side first, get it out of the way, and then see what the defense gives you. And then if you quickly identify that, hey, you need to make a change right away, or you need to start working on a deal closer to the deadline, and you want to put the framework in place earlier on because you see it's not going in the right direction, then I think you could hypothetically move on from Cody Ceci that way.
That's interesting discussion. What are the odds you think they address both of those in the offseason? Because I feel like you could get one of them done, and then the other one's like that deadline edition, right? Like,
Ask me in like a week after I have some discussions and meetings with some people. I'll probably have a better picture of where they want to go with it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
My thing is I would want to get the Yamamoto situation handled.
Yeah.
Like, do you want him around? Yes or no? You want an upgrade? Okay. Find a trade and then bring in someone bigger that's also a veteran and that can get you 15 to 20 goals. All right. And
that'd be nice. I mean, that'd be nice. Yeah.
The defense.
I just kind of lean towards the defense because they allowed 3.5 goals per game again in the playoffs. Right?
Well, but Dusty, I think it was just spotty work by the 5-man unit in front of the goalies, and then we saw Stuart Skinner let in some rookie goals. And
I'm not necessarily going to hang this on Ceci. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to think like
it almost feels like that's where this rhetoric is going. And I know Gregor's asked me about it, and I was like, hang on a sec. They improved the defense. I know Ceci didn't have a great season, but everyone was complaining about Nurse. And then people were complaining about Bouchard because Bouchard was having a tough year till Ekholm came in. So now are they just going down the road saying, okay, Ceci's got to go. He didn't have a good year. He's out. Like, I'm trying to.
That's probably what's happening, buddy, to be honest with you.
Yeah. And it's like, hang on a sec. Because in the last couple of months of the season, they're pretty good 5-on-5. They're pretty good defensively. Even their penalty kill got better. It crept into the middle third of the league. So, like, I think going into the year with the roster they're projected to have, the defense is well ahead of where it was at this time last year.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Like we are like, this was a really, really good roster.
Yes.
They just failed to get it done. The group of guys failed. I mean, they built a pretty good roster. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens. All right, let's dive into inside the numbers for Cool Bet Canada. Stay cool, bet responsibly with Cool Bet. NHL playoffs, obviously, you can dive into over there. Game 1, Vegas and Dallas tonight. Tommy, if like Evan Bouchard does not have a ton of negotiating power, right? Like from a ability perspective, sure, but from an actual contractual obligation perspective, it's not an ideal spot to be in. So let's just say it's a 2-year, let's just say for fun, it's a 2-year or 3-year bridge deal. He's still an RFA at the end of it. You don't have to worry about that. What are the odds you think that number could come in under $4 million?
Well, I'm assuming his group is going to want to shoot for the moon.
Even on a 3-year deal? What do you think shoot for the moon is? $6 million?
$6 million? Like, this guy is going to put up numbers next year. And there's a couple of things that are good for the Oilers. They're going to have guys off the books, and then they're going to have, the cap is supposed to go up.
A little bit, right?
Yeah, but then they're going to need McDavid and Draisaitl's contracts. I don't know. I think he gets probably over $4 million a year.
How much? Like 4.5 for 3 years type of thing?
Yeah, something like that.
That's a pretty good number for a guy who they could just say, sorry, man, we don't got the money. If you want to play for us this year, here's $3.75 million.
That next contract's going to be scary, though. That's the problem.
But that's kind of like the bullet you have to bite.
Yeah.
Because you don't have more to give them right now. Right? Like if you could be like, hey man, 8 years, 6.5 per. I don't think anybody would really say no to that, considering he's going to be like a 60, 70 point guy. But they just can't financially do that right now. So yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if there's hardball to be played here with Bouchard this offseason. But yeah, that's inside the numbers for Cool Bet Canada. There's obviously a lot of different things we can look at in the offseason with inside the numbers. All right, let's get set to wrap this bad boy up, Tommy. I'm gonna have one more bite of this ghost pepper chicken sandwich.
And
man, like spice aside, and it is spicy for me. This chicken sandwich itself is just so freaking delicious.
It's very good.
Like that way they do that chicken is just awesome over there. But that ghost pepper's hot, buddy. That's probably going to be the only one of these I have this weekend. I'll tell you that.
You sip that milk.
Yeah, that was real good. But anytime I can have an opportunity to drink milk, I will take it. All right, Tommy, enjoy the long weekend, buddy. And we'll be back with 2 more episodes of the Oil Stream next week. Get us out of here, man, and have a good 3-day stretch here, buddy.
Thank you. I didn't even know it was the long weekend. I'm not going to lie to you until you just said it. So that's great. Are
you serious?
I'm
you
serious.
didn't even know it was long weekend?
I don't know when the long weekends are anymore. It's game day, non-game day, game day,
That's true. Well, get back on a life schedule here, buddy.
Yeah. That's great. I'm looking forward to CFL get going, too. That's going to be great. Be down at the ballpark for Riverhawks games, Section I gang, as Mooner likes to call it. Probably check out some Stingers games as well. So say hi if I'm around there. And then also I'm going to go while my mom makes me lunch. I'm going to go play with the dog, the puppy that we got my parents for Christmas, and make sure she doesn't eat another mouse.
Your dog's eating mice?
She ate a mouse. She brought it to my dad as a gift, and he pulled it out, and he's like, oh. The other day,
gross.
Everything, man.
I'm trying to eat a chicken sandwich over here, and you're talking about a dog eating a mouse. My God.
Yeah, she's a little rascal. Anyway, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. We always appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and we will see you next week. Have a fantastic long weekend.
Tuesday, Boston Pizza, Clairview, 3 o'clock. We'll see you there.